about selection of geography as an optional subject. Myself, MD Rizwan. I'm faculty for geography optional year, and I have been teaching optional and GS for last 20 years. And with my colleague Shiv is also a part of team of geography optional. And actually, geography optional year will be covered by three teachers. I'll be covering one segment. Arpit sir will be covering one segment, and Vajiram one more, right? So in this way, we are having a division of the entire subject. Will give you like what parts will be covered by what individual. Now, the purpose of today's session is to help you in selection of the optional. Obviously, this should be a wise decision, and this is very crucial for you for your entire journey of UPSC. If this decision goes wrong, obviously this is going to not only impact your uh, performance in the mains, but also it may sometimes compromise your selection in the final list also. Okay, so when you are selecting the optional, you should be very careful. Now, as far as geography is concerned, or in general also, what is your mindset? On what basis generally the student will select the optional? So first the student will look at, I'm talking about a general criteria. Student will look at whether the syllabus of that optional is short, right? Second, how much is the overlap of that particular subject with GS, right? And third is whether the material or books of that particular subject is available in the market or it is readily available. These are the three things what most of the students will consider for selection of the optional, but this should not be treated as the major criteria. See, the most important thing about the optional will be whether the optional is compatible with you or not, or you are compatible with the optional or not, right? Forget about overlap and all that. That is still there with any subject. You select history, you select geography, you select sociology. Every popular optional has some of the other overlap with your GS, right? That should not be in our understanding. Based on whatever our experience is there of last 20 years of teaching, we understand that that has not helped much. The most important thing is whether that subject is compatible with you or not. Are you finding that subject interesting or not, right? We have seen many students who take the subject because of this factor. Somebody has told them that it is easy. ठीक है, आपने easy है या it is short. On that basis, you have selected the subject. But though it is short, what will be the difference between the subject where the syllabus appear to be short and what is a long? It will be hardly a number of topic. If you see, it will be 50 to 60 topics, right? Only that much difference is there. But if you are taking on an average, assume that there are 250 topics in the optional subject, right? In this 250, if you are not able to perform well, right, it is of no use selecting the optional on the basis of the length of the subject, right? So first criteria is that we should think of whether you are compatible, you are finding yourself interested in that particular subject or not. If you are not interested in the subject, everything you will start feeling dry, and you will feel that the preparation of the subject is burdening. Are you getting my point? तो आपको ऐसे नहीं लगेगा that I should take some one step ahead of teacher. See, what we are teaching in the class, you require some additional effort in optional. It is not like GS. First, you should understand that GS preparation and optional preparation are completely different. GS is superficial, GS is horizontal, GS is expanding, GS is about collection of more and more information about certain topic, right? But in optional, you have to go in depth. You should have a conceptual clarity. You should be able to link from one topic to other. So optional subject preparation requires your more involvement. The involvement from the student side should be more, apart from what is the contribution of a teacher. So if I have taught something in the class, you should be by yourself voluntarily interested in going back at your home and opening the subject and looking at whether I can explore the subject beyond what is taught in the class. ये कब होगा? When you are interested in the subject, right? Therefore, the first and foremost criteria for selection of the optional is the interest and compatibility of a student with that particular discipline. ठीक है? Second is, yes, whether you will be able to complete the subject in a stipulated time. ठीक है? This is the second important thing. तो आपके पास कितना टाइम है? Optional preparation. Those who are giving you're giving exam in 2025, you have nearly 5 months of time for preparing optional. Means 5 months of coaching and maybe 1 month additional you may require for it. That is total 6 months, right? So 6 months you have time to prepare for your optional. You cannot afford to extend the duration of preparation in the optional. More you extend it, it will eat away your time of GS, right? जैसे आपने अगर 10 months दे दिया optional को, what is happening? It is going to take away your timing for GS preparation. This may sometimes compromise your attempt also. For that reason, within a stipulated time, you should be able to complete, and that requires some amount of guidance. They say most of the students, they will ask, is self preparation possible in the optional subject? Yes, self preparation is possible in every subject, but the problem comes in whether by self preparation you will be able to finish the subject in 5 months. What are classes going to do? Classes are going to provide you a formula, provide you a framework by which you are going to complete the syllabus within a stipulated time. ये फर्क है. ऐसा नहीं कि आपको कुछ नहीं समझेगा. You can collect the information from the open sources also, and you can prepare for optional. But generally it is observed that when a student is trying to complete, right, is trying to complete the optional by self, you will find that the duration of the optional completion, sometimes the students are taking 1 year also, they are still not able to manage the syllabus. What the classes will provide? The classes are going to provide you a framework. They are going to provide you a proper boundary by which you can complete, right? So first is compatibility, second is time bound completion of the syllabus, and third is whether you are able to prioritize on your syllabus, in the sense that you should know in optional what to prepare and how much to prepare. Your preparation cannot be sorry, your preparation cannot be imbalanced, in the sense that now see, in the changing pattern, what has happened? If you see the question papers of optionals now, the number of questions that are asked in exam has increased. Okay, what UPSC has done, though they have reduced sorry, though they have reduced the number of marks, total number, thank you, total number of marks, जैसे 300 से 250, right? But the number of questions a student is required to attempt has increased. Previously, for 300 words, you were required to write, so 300 marks, you were required to write into 10. How many? 300 words. For 10 marker, you were required to write 100 words. For 15 marker, you were required to write 150. For 220 marker, you were required to write 200 words. Now, how many words you are writing for 10 marker? You are writing nearly 150 words, right? For 15 marker, you are going to write nearly 200 words. Means additional 50 words you are writing in every topic, right? Now, what has happened? The total number of words in 250 marks, you are writing more than 3,500. यानी आपका expectation 1,000 words are expected more from you in the same duration of 3 hours, but the number of marks have been reduced, right? 250. और ये जो 300 or 3,500 you are writing, how many questions you are writing? Previously the number of questions were less. Now you are writing more than 20 questions in 3 hours. And how are these 20 questions? It is, if you see the previous year trends, you can see that UPSC is touching almost every chapter. तो यहाँ पर ये essential हो गया है that a student is required to cover every topic, student is required to cover every chapter, right? So third point is balancing the preparation. How you can balance the preparation? See how it was going on before. I'll give you example before 2012, how students used to prepare some most important topic from paper 1. Prepare geomorphology, climatology, perspective, population settlement, and last one, models and theories. Out of 10 chapters in paper 1, prepare for some 5 or 6, right? And in paper 2 also prepare 5 or 6 chapter. There are hardly 12 chapters you need to prepare to answer the entire paper, right? Means by preparing 12 chapters out of 20, you will be able to completely answer all the questions in UPSC exam. But the scenario has changed now, right? If you leave any of the chapter, you will be able, there will be problem in some question because they are mixing now, right? Are you able to understand this? तो यहां पर क्या हो रहा है? Like question number 1, first question 15 mark is geomorphology, second question is oceanography, third question is biogeography, right? Previous pattern was entire question number 1 A B C was from geomorphology, second question was from climatology, third question is from oceanography and bioenvironmental geography. It means that even if you are leaving one chapter, you will be still able to answer all the question. But this is not happening in the present scenario. Now we have to complete all the chapter. Now what happens with most of the student? They prepare in this way. Geomorphology they prepare for 1.5 month or 2 months. Then climatology another 1.5 month. And what about second section human geography? They prepare in 15 days. Now can you score by this strategy? Whether it is a strategy of a student or strategy of a teacher, if you are approaching the subject in this imbalanced manner, you will not be able to score in optional. Then the students will say that we are not getting score. You will be able to score only when you are completing the syllabus in a balanced way. You have to prepare the subject, you have to prepare the chapter the way it is required according to weightage. So geomorphology, how many marks? Maximum 35 to 40, right? How much time I should allocate for preparation of geomorphology? It should be 15 to 20 days, right? Then only, and then obviously when you are preparing in 15 to 20 days, you are having time for climatology, you have time for oceanography, your entire subject is well balanced, right? If you are making your preparation imbalanced, you will not be able to justify the subject, you will not be able to revise, you will not be able to score. Okay? Now these are the 3 things that should be remembered for selection of the optional. Now don't go by that criteria. The subject is short, right? Who is scoring what? You have to think about what kind of personality you are for the selection of the optional subject. Now come to geography. How is the flavor of geography? Geography is a scientific and logical subject. अब इसमें how is geography different from other? Geography is not abstract. First thing, it is not having anything abstract. Everything is concrete, everything is conceptual, everything is applied, and everything is logical. Now, what do you mean by logical? For anything in geography, there should be cause and effect relationship. You will be able to ask why. If I say tropical cyclone, you should say why this tropical cyclone. If you say earthquake, why there is earthquake, right? How it is caused. So for anything in geography, when you study a geographical phenomenon, it can be answered and you can raise the question why this phenomenon occurs. Okay? So the student who are not with the abstract mindset will be compatible with geography. जो बच्चे इस तरह से सोचते हैं, those students who have a logical bent of mind, those students who are having a scientific bent of mind, they will get benefited from geography as a subject. Here you are not going to create anything abstract. Please understand. Geography में ऐसा नहीं होगा that by your own way you are going to create anything. What is there, that only you have to read, that only you have to understand. So first, it doesn't have any abstractness, right? Second thing, it is geography heavily depends on representation, right? Unlike any other subject, if you are taking any other humanities subject, what you are going to do, you are going to write, right? You are going to write in the sense, start from first paragraph, first line, and keep on writing in paragraph and complete 150 words. How you have written, in what paragraphs you have written, what is your type of uh, language, that hardly matters in other subject. आपको सिर्फ ये करना है कि उसमें कुछ conceptual explanation, some abstract explanation you have to put. But in geography, it is not like this. Getting marks in geography requires a proper representation. There is a language of the subject. For that, you should be looking at use of terminologies, use of diagrams, use of map, use of flowchart. If you are able to do these things, you can score in geography, right? मतलब यहाँ पर दो चीजें हैं. First, what you know, and second, how you write. In most of the other humanities subject, what is happening? What you know, you write in the same way. जैसे आपने सब्जेक्ट को अंडरस्टैंड किया है, you try to express everything in the same manner. That is what is the abstractness of the subject. In geography, it is not like this. What you know has to be represented in a proper format, and this will help you to score, right? Suppose you are writing about how is the distribution of agriculture in India. Write about distribution or type of agro-climatic regions in India. आप ये भी कर सकते हैं, you start as a description and write 150 words on this without including any map, without including any diagram, right? This question is for 15 marks. You have written 150 words. What the examiner will do here, he will give you some 5 marks or 6 marks. If the same content is converted into appropriate representation, how? It will be converted by use of terms, use of map, use of diagram. The same content, nothing addition, right? Just you are making your representation more stronger, you will be able to get 7 to 8 marks. Are you able to understand here? So यहाँ पर geography relies on representation. There are two parts of geography, that is what you know and what you write. If the student is able to make a match between this, he is able to practice and he is able to improve on representation. हो सकता है, sometimes I have seen the students, they are not very good in understanding of the subject, यानी normal understanding, ऐसा कुछ बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है, but the representation is very good, they have scored well in the exam. But there are another category of the student, they are having a very good understanding of the subject, but they have not practiced representation, they are not able to score. Again, the students will say that we are not able to score in this paper, right? This is because most of the time the representation of the answers is not appropriate. Okay, so this will be the second part, right? Now, how is geography going to help you? अब इसमें we look at how much is the static and dynamic part of your syllabus. Paper 1 has 10 chapters, paper 2 has 10 chapters, right? Paper 1 is majorly static, right? Out of 10, 8 chapters are static. There will be use of current affairs in only 2 or 3 chapters. Zyadatar you can use current affairs in bio, environmental, geography, geomorphology is static, climatology is static, oceanography is static, perspective is static, models and theories, that are the last chapter, that is also static. You can use some current affairs in population and settlement geography and some part of regional planning, right? So 8 chapters, around 8 chapters, the syllabus of paper 1, 8 chapters are static, only 2 are dynamic. In paper 2, yes, the percentage of current affairs required will be more. You can see 50 is to 50 in case of paper paper 2. 50% is static and 50% is dynamic. Now if you take the entire average, you will get is something like 65 to 60%, 65 to 70% is static and 30% is dynamic, right? What do you mean by dynamic? Where the questions are open ended and where the questions require interlinking with the current affairs. This is more in paper 2, right? So there the students will require the data, require a case study, require some examples from day to day current affairs. That we will take care. Okay, this is one part. Second, there is a overlap. Since most of the student will ask this question, if a student is preparing for geography optional, how much part of optional is GS? Nearly 40%. Out of these 20 chapters, 40% of the syllabus is same as your GS part. Let's say you talk about geomorphology, 60% of geomorphology up to plate tectonics is same as your GS. Climatology, 70% is same as your GS. Oceanography, 50% is same as your GS. In paper 1, what you are studying new is section B, that is human geography. Okay. So static part plus you can look at overlap of GS. So specially you need not focus on that part of optional which is corresponding with your GS. Your efforts in GS paper 1 and GS paper 3 will be considerably reduced. But I am again saying that this should not be criteria for selection of the optional. Every optional has this. Okay. Next one is so we are looking at overlap. And third important thing is consistency. What is meaning of consistency? How is geography optional? Once you prepare and reach up to certain level, this subject is going to help you ever. In the sense that एक attempt ने आपने geography prepare कर लिया, next attempt you have to upgrade on what you have done previously. ऐसा नहीं होगा, you have to go back and look at the concepts of the previous, right? So there is a consistency in the subject, consistency in mark. You can sustain with this subject for a longer time, right? What is meaning of this? They say you have prepared with geography in one attempt and you have reached some level, right? You have given mains exam. अब आपका मेंस का स्कोर कितना आया? Let us say 260 you got, right? Next time when you are putting efforts in the subject, you will obviously get more than what you have got in the previous attempt. Means there will not be fluctuation. 260 का 160 नहीं होगा, 260 का 200 नहीं होगा, right? In geography, our observation is there that the marks will considerably increase only, right? More you put the effort in the subject, it will be rewarding, right? That is known as consistency, or this can be sustainability with the subject. And second important is you will not feel that the subject is monotonous. Means one attempt, second attempt, or if you are required to give more than one attempt, still you will be able to retain the interest in the subject. In most of the subject, what happens? If the student is preparing for one attempt, right? Next attempt, when he again revises the subject, then he feels that ab isme kya bacha hai? Everything I have done, but I am still not able to improve my scores. But in geography, it is not like this. There are many ways by which you can retain the creativity in the topics, right? By you can explore how you can improve on representation, you can explore how you can improve on terminologies, you can explore on map drawing. So there is a scope by which you can help you can retain your creativity and interest in the subject. See, the problem is if you lose interest in optional at any point of time, maybe after one attempt, because you have overstudied it, or because you are feeling that nothing is left in the subject, or you are feeling that it is abstract, or you are feeling that it is dry, or you are feeling that I am not able to write beyond certain limit. These are the conditions the students may experience, and because of this, most of the time they are not able to improve. What happens in many cases, as your attempt increases, instead of improving on the score, you are going to experience decline in score, right? First attempt में अच्छे marks मिल रहे, second attempt ने आपने बहुत मेहनत की है, लेकिन scores have declined. Third attempt you have further increased your input in the subject, but again the score has declined. declined. Why this is happening in the optional? Because the student is losing his or her creativity in the subject. What happens if you are reading the subject more times? You are losing your own creativity and you become more and more bookish, right? And when you write how it is written in the books in answer, you are not going to get the marks. UPSC is not asking you to write according to what is there in books. If you copy the language of the book, you are not going to get the score. And many a times students are not able to perform in the optional because of this, right? But in geography, you will be able to retain these many things. You are still able to retain the interest in the subject, right? So this should be considered when you are selecting optional. I am giving you an overview. Now, next is what will be done in the classes. Let us come to what is how the subject is covered. So we are starting the batch on 27th of September. The duration of the batch will be 5 months, plus minus 5 or 10 days will be there, but generally we'll try to finish in 5 months. And our approach here is that to cover all the topics in a balanced way, right? So it will be the classes 6 days a week, class for 2.5 hours. We will be providing printed material, handouts. Along with this, we will see that you are also well equipped with answer writing, in the sense that you are from day one onwards, you are having a sufficient level of understanding of how to write the answer. Practice is very important. As I told you, that the geography heavily relies on representation. If you sit with this understanding that I'll just listen to the class, I will read from the book and I will not write anything, now you are not going to get the marks in geography as an optional subject, right? So please understand, when you are taking optional geography as an optional, there are pros and there are cons, right? Pros are, yes, the subject is going to sustain, subject is consistent, you can have lot of creativity, but con is that you have to take a continuous effort, right? You should cover the entire syllabus, you have to cover in a balanced way, and you have to practice answer writing. If you are not inclined towards writing and you are an abstract kind of personality, this subject is not for you. आप अगर लॉजिकल है और आप लिखने के लिए तैयार है, यू नो हाउ टू ड्रॉ, यू नो हाउ टू draw the diagrams, you know how to represent the thing, how you know how to articulate the thing, yes, you can do wonders in exam. ठीक है? So in our classes we will focus on this. It is not about only delivering the concept, it is also making a student equipped with answer writing practice. It is a kind of hand holding which is done with the help of assignment and the test after every chapter, right? Now this subject will be taught by 3 teachers, as I told you. I'll be teaching paper 1 most of the areas, that is geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, and second section, that is human geography. Vaishali ma'am, she will be teaching bioenvironmental geography and population and settlement geography. Shivarpe sir, he will be teaching most of the part of second paper, that is Indian geography, right? So this is the way it is distributed. Now current affairs, if you look at current affairs, as I told you, current affairs is more required in paper 2. Integration of the current affairs will be required in paper 2, and you require it in some of the chapters like agriculture, industry, transport, regional development, and so and so. Okay. Now this is the basic framework. Now as it is an interactive session, I will appreciate if you are able to ask the doubts. That will be more easy for us to address your queries in particular, right? If you are having any doubts, we can help. Anything, be open, right? Because see, this as it is an open session and as it is important for your decision making about the selection of the optional, some might have decided, some are still in the process of making a decision, therefore it becomes very crucial. You have every right to know how we are going to. There is one handout also that will be uploaded on the portal. I have given you in that handout factual information जो भी है जैसे reference books and all, that is provided, right? So that you can download it from the portal. Apart from reference book that is there already, you can ask the questions that are more related to maybe some basic things. They say where to start with the optional, right? Now, do you require any prerequisite for it, or is it that you should be from geography optional, geography subject? No, it is not required, right? If because geography anyway you are going to study as a part of GS, whether you are coming from geography background or not, you have to prepare geography to certain extent in prelims and mains. You cannot qualify your prelims exam without geography, right? So background is immaterial. Mindset is very important. That is, you are a logical person, you are not an abstract individual, right? So abstract individual का मतलब है a person who creates something out of nothing. Now, this type of personalities are not very compatible with geography, because in geography, for everything, as I told you, there is some scientific basis. Okay? So, abstractness, it is not an abstract subject. Understand this. Okay? To start with, you have to read some of the basic books. They say 11th and 12th class NCRT. Okay? Before optional, before beginning the optional, you have to read NCRT class 11th and 12th. That two major books there, that is fundamentals of physical geography, and you read Indian physical environment. At least this you complete. And also read GC Leong, right? GC Leong में क्या पढ़ेंगे? For optional, to begin, right? You read chapter number 14 to chapter number 22, that are topics pertaining to climates. There is one chapter for equatorial climate, one chapter for tropical hot desert, one chapter for grassland, one chapter for British type of climate. In this way, for one chapter is dedicated for climatic type. This will give you an idea in general about how is the location and distribution of climate across the globe. Okay? This is primary, and you should become little bit friendly with the atlas, right? Friendly with the atlas in the sense you should know that what is where, at least minimum information. They say you should know about the continents, you should know about the important seas and water bodies, you should know about important islands, some countries, bordering region. At least you should know what are the countries through which equator passes, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, right? Major things. So that you should be aware. So these are the basic requirement to start with before the class. This will develop some mindset of a student. Dusra, what you should not look at is, don't understand that geography is about ratification of information. No, this is wrong. In when you are preparing for geography for UPSC, you prepare geography for SSC exam. वहां पर क्या type के question रहेंगे? They are thoroughly factual, right? They will ask you where is this mountain located, what are the tributaries, and so and so. That preparation for lower level exam is more about collecting facts, collecting information. But when you are preparing for geography for UPSC, it becomes more and more conceptual, right? So focus on the concept. Okay? Now somebody is asking about the batch timing. I think batch will be at 11 a.m. from 27 September. Now, yes, any other doubts? Analysis is there, but analysis will be a part of section B of paper 1, and what you have to analyze is within the framework of that topic, right? Suppose I say critically analyze a Köppen's classification scheme of climate, right? अब इसमें you cannot go beyond the topic. जो climate है वो तो है ना? You cannot create anything new in geography. Understand this, right? Whatever may be your intellectual ability, you are bonded by some fixed boundary of that particular topic. You cannot move beyond that. आप analyze करोगे, लेकिन you will be analyzing within the fixed limits, right? You cannot bring anything from out of the box and include into the topic. That is not required. ठीक है? It is analytical. Section B is analytical. They say perspective is analytical. Models and theories you can have analysis. Economic geography, some open ended questions are there, वहां पर भी एनालिसिस है, लेकिन मोस्ट ऑफ दिस एनालिटिकल क्वेश्चंस आर ओपन एंडेड एंड देयर यू कैन टेक द हेल्प ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स. ठीक है. हाँ, सो
just roll up please. Roll up. Scroll up. See, Mridul, if you, the question is, should I join the offline or should I join the online batch? See, if you're comfortable with staying in Delhi, if there are no financial constraints, then it's better that you join the offline batch. Okay, if you want to join. Otherwise, if you're not comfortable coming here, then it is okay even if you join the online classes. Okay. For all those students who are part of general studies and they have the batch timings at 11 o'clock, then in that case, your batch timings of general studies will be changed. So if you are part of general studies wherein you have a batch timing of 11 o'clock to 1:30, then you will be shifting your batch in GS. Geography timings are not going to change. Okay. There was a question where the girl says, I was having geography as a subject in class 12th. So in any case, that is an added advantage, Khushi. Okay. But it's not that if people have no background of geography, they should not be taking the subject. Okay. Roll down, please. Milan, I would consider, as I'm the person who's taking paper 2, that is Indian geography, I would consider Khuller as a better book. Majid Hussain mein there are some kind of mistakes. So I would recommend D.R. Khuller. That is a much better book. Okay. Yes, books will be given, but focus will be on the class notes. Focus will be more on the reference material, reference books. You don't have any questions here?
Yes, any doubts you are having? Be open, right?
See, the session is not about you choosing us as teachers. The session is about helping you how you can select a subject and whether you are a person who is suitable for this subject or not. Should you select geography as an option? So because you any case have to select any optional, so it is better that you ask any of the doubts that you have before going for any subject. They will take around 130, 135 days. So for completion of that. What about mapping? Mapping, we are going to discuss in paper 2 because it is not part of paper 1. So in paper 2, we'll have the map works done in the class itself. Somebody was raising a hand.
So starting from September end anyway. So October, November, December, Jan, Feb. By end of Feb, we'll be able to finish or complete this batch. So 5 months we'll try to wind up. So if you are preparing for 2025, first case, if you are preparing for 2025, obviously it is advisable that you should be finishing your optional before your prelims, right? So 25 वालों के लिए कोई choice नहीं है. It is better to finish the optional before the prelims exam. But if you are preparing for 26, you can either go for this batch or you can go for a June batch. But if you are finishing your optional now, you will be getting time to write the test series and practice answers.
See, Mridul, the system would be a bit different for Rizwan sir, for Vaishali ma'am, and for me. For my topics, what I'm going to do in paper 2 is, before we start a topic, I'll make you write all the questions that we have had in the previous years. Okay? Then we'll do a topic. Then once the topic is over, then I'll discuss the questions with you. And you're supposed to write those questions and submit those questions to me. I'll evaluate it, and then it would be given to you within a week. This is what we have in paper 2. Okay? Rizwan sir would be in better position to tell you what is being done in paper 1.
Paper 1, we will be going with the pattern of the topics, right? Means it is thoroughly like a traditional way of understanding the syllabus. Chapter 1, geomorphology, starting from basic to advanced. Climatology, basic to advanced, in this way, right? So we'll have, like, because paper 1 is more conceptual and interlinked. Paper 2 requires lot of integration with current affairs, right? So the strategy for paper 2 is different, what sir has adopted. And paper 1, we will try to build the concept and interlinkages from one topic to other. Okay? Number of just a minute, number of lectures by each, we generally not defining the lectures, will say that number of chapters, right? So as I told you that I'll be taking most of the chapters of paper 1, right, including section B. This may require nearly, for me it will require nearly 2 months of classes, right? 2 months of classes I'll be taking, more than 2 months. Sir also will be taking around 2 months, and 1 month, roughly 1 month, Vaishali ma'am will be taking. So in that way it is
Broadly,
5
the
months.
distribution
Broad
will be
is in this way.
broadly distribution will be 40% syllabus for Rizwan sir, 40% I'll cover, 20% ma'am is going to cover. This would be the broadly the division. Yes. No. The answer writing is very different. Moreover, the PYQs also will not be same. जैसे sir just spoke that geography has a language. ठीक है? Geography has certain technical terms. In GS में, suppose simple example, let's say the question is on groundwater provinces of India. Where is the groundwater present? Okay. If I'm writing in general studies, I would say groundwater is present in, let's say, northern plains. We have that in coastal plains. We have less of groundwater in the Deccan Plateau. Okay. We don't have much of groundwater in the Indian Himalayan region. This is how I'm going to write the question general studies. That is not the approach in optional. Optional mein, I'm going to look at a scheme that this is the RLC scheme, and according to this particular scheme, these are the province of groundwater. Suppose I'm going to say that we have groundwater present in the areas of ancient granite and gneiss. Okay, then I would say that I have unconsolidated sediments, rocks, jahan par we have some good amount of groundwater present. So the language is different. If suppose I'm speaking about the, let's say, a term like, let's say, jet stream, I would say GS mein subtropical westerly jet stream would flow at a height of around 9 kilometers from the surface. If I'm writing in optional, I would say then STWJ flows at a height of 300 hectopascals. That means I'm measuring the height in terms of pressure. So geography has a language. I'm going to quote scholars. They suppose Himalayan orogeny. Okay. Suppose Pir Panjal range. GS will write, this is part of middle Himalayas. This is present in Kashmir. It covers this much amount of length. Optional mein, I'm going to quote D.N. Wadia. That according to Dr. Wadia, this is the Great Nappy of Kashmir or Great Nappy of Great Himalayas. This is the area wherein I will have a broad platform of limestone over a gneissic base which is forming the crystalline axis. समझो language होती है subject की. So language will be different.
How to inculcate ourselves in this language? How to get this language?
This is something which is going to happen over a period of time. Okay? Eventually, suppose you started learning English. Initially, you started with simple alphabets. Then you started with some simple words. Then you start moving towards some complex words. So as we will progress with our syllabus, then we are going to use this language. Okay?
And moreover, it is when you learn paper 1, right, when you become like have a good understanding of principles of geography in paper 1, you will automatically develop that interlinkage of theory with applied part. This is paper 2. What is your question? You're asking that questions appear like GS. Fine, the question is appearing like GS in paper 2, but the answer cannot be like GS. Answer has to be a bit specific to the optional. You have to take into consideration the information that is there in paper 1. Suppose you are writing about the industrial location in Chota Nagpur Plateau in paper 2, right? जब आप industrial location लिख रहे हो, you have to bring into law of industrial location and principle of industrial location or model of industrial location that is there in paper 1 given by Alfred Weber. तो जब तक आपको वेबर पता नहीं है, your answer cannot be like optional. Then you will tend to write the answer like GS, right? So more you have a better understanding of principles in paper 1, your answers in paper 2 will improve. That is why these two papers cannot be compartmentalized. Though UPSC is prescribing it as paper 1 and paper 2, but generally the students who got good marks, they were able to establish a link from paper 1 to paper 2. What you are getting from paper 1? You get laws, you get principle, you get theories, you get the names of geographers, right? जैसे आपने climate of India लिखना है, you take the climatology in paper 1, write the names like Trivartha, like Stamp, write about Thornwhite, write about Köppen. जब भी आप इंक्लूड करेंगे, ऑब्वियसली दिस क्वेश्चन और दिस आंसर विल बी अपियरिंग लाइक अ ऑप्शनल आंसर. ठीक है. सो नाउ ऑनलाइन सम स्टूडेंट्स आर आस्किंग some questions here. Some of like reference book. See, reference book already I told you I have uploaded in this handout, but still when you prepare for section A, paper 1, the basic reference book is Physical Geography by Savinder Singh, which will cover 80% of the syllabus of section A in paper 1. Section B in paper 2, that is section B in paper 1, Human Geography. There are 2-3 books fundamental to your preparation. One is Geographical Thought by R.D. Dixit, or you can follow Majid Hussain. Now it depends again which type of literature you are more compatible with. Second is Population and Settlement Geography. That is by again R.C. Chandana is there. That book you can follow, or you can follow Human Geography by Majid Hussain. And last one is Models and Theories by Majid Hussain. There is one book, Introduction to Settlement Geography by Sumita Ghosh. That also can be referred. Now this is in section B of paper 1. ठीक है. So section A में Physical Geography by Savinder Singh. Section B, Geographical Thought, R.D. Dixit. Human Geography by Majid Hussain. Models and Theories by Majid Hussain. ठीक है. Paper 2, as sir has suggested, it is Indian Geography by D.R. Khuller. And I hope that, I think in paper 2 you require some additional resources that are more open-ended.
Resources that you are going to require for paper 2, it depends on you whether you want to go for deeper learning or not. Okay, we would advise that you focus your study limited to D.R. Khuller. Okay, if you want to go for some extra knowledge, then in that case you can refer to certain other books. जैसे monsoon के लिए we have P.K. Das. ठीक है, cultural setting के लिए you have Ejazuddin Ahmed. Then, for example, in case for settlement geography, you can for rural settlements R.Y. Singh. Okay, so there are a number of other books, but I would, or RDP के लिए you can go for Chandpuri, or you can go for Mishra. But I would suggest keep your study very limited so that whatever is there in the examination, 90% of syllabus you are able to complete. देखो 100% foolproof preparation is not possible in any of the cases. You cannot think that all the questions that are there, I should be able to answer them with complete satisfaction. That may not be possible. Okay, so your idea is whatever you have done, you have to be very thorough with that.
Someone is asking about what about this Made Simple, Rupa publication Made Simple series. That is supplementary reading. There are 2 volumes by Made Simple series. Volume 1 is Physical Geography and second is Social and Economic Geography. That will be additional to what you are referring in standard books like Savinder Singh. देखिए, आप ये समझो, if you increase the number of books, your possibility of covering the syllabus in a time bound manner decreases, right? तो पहला आपको फोकस ये करना है consolidation of the syllabus and completion of the syllabus. Therefore, my emphasis and our emphasis in the class will be to give maximum through class notes and handouts, so that your dependency on the additional reading from the book is less. So we will try to see that everything is delivered in the class and it is given to you in the form of handout. You are required to refer minimum number of books, right? That is our intention. Otherwise, what is the use? You are attending the classes also, and then after that you are again reading 10 different books, this is not very productive. Okay? So through classes, we will see that the class notes are particularly the areas what I am dealing with. I am trying to see that here, क्योंकि यहाँ पर reference material required will be more when you are studying about human geography, geographical thought, perspectives. In that cases, generally students will be required to read more from multiple sources. But our intention is that you should be getting a clarity through the class notes itself, right? And additional thing we will provide as handouts. ठीक है? Yes. So his question is, for those who are online, is asking that paper 2 is more dynamic and paper 1 is static. Will the repetition of the question help? Yes. You will find that most of the questions are repeated, but not repeated in the same format, right? What happens? They will be changing the wording of the question. They have asked Weber's model of industrial location. Now, when the pattern was like that, they have asked Weber's model for 60 marks also. Then they have moved to 40 marks. Now they have asked one part of Weber's model, write a note on locational triangle or write a note on isodapane, right? So ये क्या है? This is the repetition of the question, repetition of the theme of the. I am not saying repetition of the question as it is, but the theme of the question remains the same.
Even in paper 2, you'll find the questions getting repeated, and even the questions have been directly copy pasted in different years. There's a question on stamp classification of climate. This has been asked in the past 10 years. You'll find it has been asked 3 times. The same question, just that as sir told, once in 60 marks, second in 30 marks, third time in 15 marks. Okay. Shivangi was asking questions. See, Shivangi, it has to be your choice. See, ultimately, it is going to affect you. It depends on your interest area. Okay. It depends on which subject you're comfortable with. Okay. If you have a very good expression, you can go for PSIR if that entices you. If, as sir told you, if you have a logical bent of mind, if you are okay with geography, if you find the subject interesting, you can go for geography as well. But see, it has to be your choice. It is your life. It has to be your decision. We can only help you in answering the questions that you have in specifics. Okay. Answer writing mein, Mridul, there will be no weekly test as per my topics. I will give you questions from the previous years and you are supposed to write those questions. A test will be taken. I'll have around 2 tests for the entire topics that I'm going to take up. Ajay, you had a question. Please. No, see, what is going to happen is sir is going to take up the, normally what we do is, sir is going to take up the first paper 1 and he is going to continue for almost a month. Then Vaishali ma'am for around 15 days. Then I will come in and again I will continue for 1 month. Then sir takes up paper 1 part B. Then again Vaishali ma'am, and then I'm going to come up with the rest of the topics. Okay.
So it will go in a sequence only, how we are covering. I'll start with the course and I'll cover first 3 chapters, that is geomorphology, climatology and oceanography. It will take around 1 month, 10 days to complete this much syllabus. After that 4 and 5, bioenvironmental geography, Vaishali ma'am will be covering. Then you will move to, because your geomorphology, climatology is done, you can apply all these things in paper 2, right? That is physiography of India, physical setting, resources and all. So that sir will be doing. We'll start with paper 2 and then again come back and start with section B, that is human geography. That will go for another 1 month. Okay. So in that way. So Srinivasa Balaji, he is asking that whether recorded sessions will be provided. Yes. After every class, there is availability of these recorded classes, but it will be for some fixed duration. You can just inquire with the institute. Faisal Khan is asking, he is zoology graduate, but I want to opt for geography as an optional. See, geography works irrespective of your background. Only thing is, you look at whether you are having a compatibility with the subject or not. आप क्या ये learn कर सकते हो? You have that mindset of learning and understanding the things. you have a patience to understand that subject in the way it is. Any subject, ऐसा नहीं कि ज्योग्राफी है, आप PSIR भी लीजिए, आप सोशियोलॉजी भी लीजिए, लेकिन क्या आपके पास इतना पेशेंस है that what is written in that one page of book you are able to patiently read and understand, right? If I am taking PSIR, can I read patiently that much and the way it is there, and can I have an interest also, right? Agar if you are able to do that, yes, you should take that optional. It is not only about geography. ठीक है? तो अगर आप मान लो ये पढ़ रहे हैं, you are reading about some theory of landscape development by Davis and you have read 2 pages from Savinder Singh, ये पढ़ने के बाद are you able to understand the things in the way it is required for that subject? If you are, the answer is yes, then you can go for that optional. ठीक है? Somebody is asking here, engineering graduate and
Means, you mean to say if you prepare for 5 months, then would you be able to appear for the examination? Yes, provided if you are very thorough with answer writing. Okay, if you have done the answer writing, then once you are done with the prelims, then again you will get around 3 months of time, 90 days you are going to get. In those 90 days, you'll also practice, you'll have to practice answer writing. Okay, that means if you have written 5 answers at home, then you will be able to write 1 answer in the examination. See, we don't have much of time. So suppose a topic is there, I need to have written answers about that topic so that I have some fair idea about how to introduce that topic, how to conclude that topic, what is to be written, because question will involve a multi-dimensional view. So you won't have enough of time that you are going to think from all the parts of the syllabus and then going to write. So if you have done answer writing in advance, you know what all aspects to be included in answer writing. See, if you proceed as per the class, you write, if suppose 5 questions have been discussed and you write 3 of those, then you are good to go for the prelims examination, and after the prelims 3 months of time will be enough. Taken.
yes, rather this is advantage. If you are having a good representation skill, the number of words you are required to write will get reduced. Suppose I want to write about the distribution of soils in India and I am writing it as 2 paragraphs. Instead of that, I am drawing a small map of India and showing different type of soil. इसमें क्या हुआ है? The answer becomes self-explanatory. My emphasis on the words have reduced, right? So better you make your representation skill, your number of words and the way you need to describe in the words will get reduced. Okay? So that is what we are saying here. It is an advantage for you. Somebody is asking, yeah, here with engineering background, geography as a subject, yes, for most of the students who are taking geography, they come from an engineering background. Again, it is not about specific graduation you need to have, लेकिन एक ही है, if you are engineer or if you are coming from any professional background, you have something like a scientific and logical bent of mind. वो abstractness नहीं रहता है, right? People coming from science, professional background, engineering background, they are generally not having an abstract mindset. What is my observation, right? This is my personal view. So abstractness nahi hai. They think that why, if anything is taught, they will be first raising the question why, how. So that becomes very easy in case of geography. अगर आप सिर्फ रट्टापट्टी करने वाले हैं, then geography is not for you. How many things you will remember? You cannot remember all the facts in geography by the way of rectification. You can remember it as a part of concept, right? If you say that remember the entire Himalayan region, you will not be able to remember it as mnemonics, but you will be able to remember when you know how the Himalayas were born, right? When you know the formation of Himalayas, it becomes easy. ठीक है. Frequency of test, see, the pattern, as sir has said, pattern of the test will be, in my case, when we start with the optional, I'll be giving assignments almost every alternate day. You will be writing and submitting, and it gets evaluated. And for every chapter, end of chapter, in paper 1, we will have one test. Geomorphology हुआ है एक test, climatology one test. In this we will go. And in paper 2, because paper 2 is well integrated, the number of tests is around, I think, 2, right? 2 tests will be there in paper 2. Bioenvironmental geography, 1 test will have, and population and settlement also 1 test. Okay? So we'll see. Don't worry about that. Our sole focus intention will be to see that you are well prepared in these 5 months to tackle optional. As somebody was asking whether you are going to be able. Yes, you will be able. 5 months से ज्यादा आपको एक 1 month और dedicate करना होगा optional के लिए, where you can consolidate, you close it. After the prelims exam, you open the subject, you will be only revising the things, right? See, if you expand the horizon of the subject beyond what is there, right, you are not going to get benefited. Remember, जो है पहले उसको complete करिए. What happens is most of the students are under this anxiety that what about if UPSC is asking beyond this? Beyond this में कितने question आएंगे? Out of 20 question in your entire paper, there will be hardly 1 or 2 questions that are beyond the scope of the syllabus. And if you are not doing it or not able to do it, understand that 99.99% of the students who are appearing for that exam will also be not able to do, right? तो आप वो 2 क्वेश्चन के पीछे मत भागिए. You look at remaining 18 question that is within the scope and how you can improve your answers and scores in that question. If you make it reverse and try to run after those abstract things, now that will not be very much beneficial.
GS geography of GS.
क्या है?
Middle the study will be slightly in different fashion here. Okay, as I told you that even in agriculture, suppose if I've done some part of agriculture, यहाँ पर we are going to discuss some other aspects. Okay, so the questions are not the same. And eventually keywords, subject presentation, it will come with practice. The more you practice, the better you become with the answers. See, there are certain things which are part of our memory. Just for example, muscle memory. Say, suppose I am writing an answer. Okay. Now, if I've done a lot of practice, then after every paragraph, automatically I will switch to a diagram. I will switch to a map. But if I have not done the practice, then what is going to happen is, once I'm going to write the entire answer, then I would recall that, oh, I had forgot to draw a map here. I would have drawn this diagram as well. So it has to become part of your memory. Take a muscle memory. Okay. So the more you practice, the better it is for you.
For those who are preparing for 2026, I think I have answered this. If you can opt for June batch also, it's fine. But if you are preparing now, early you prepare for the optional, more you get time for practicing the answers. No, see, topic is boring.
Because sir, I was a failure in geography. But after that, slowly and steadily, the interest in geography increased by reading different books, like Prisoners of Geography and
Tim Marshall.
I,
You have read that book, Prisoners of Geography? Okay.
everything in the world is geography at the end. It is a very connected subject. That's why I have opted for this.
See,
Ajay, what is the topic that you find boring? What is that topic that you find boring? If there are so many ifs, see, if you have any concrete example, if you have found any topic boring, then you tell me about that topic.
ठीक है, I'll tell you the remedy. See, if you are finding, his question is, if you find some topic boring, then what to do? If you try to interlink and make it applied, it becomes easy. It becomes interesting, right? Suppose you are studying about, let us say, concept of region, and you may find it boring, right? लेकिन जब आप उसको अप्लाई करना शुरू करेंगे, that what is a cultural region, right? You find it interesting. Try to make it closer or bring it closer to normal day-to-day happening in around that, that will develop interest.
If you're able to relate that with the real life examples, you will never find it boring. Okay? That is the basic idea.
Somebody is asking that answer writing, you have to see the notes when practice. See, it is about revision. If you are able to retain information in your mind, the flow of information will be quick, right? A problem ये नहीं है कि आपको concept आता है या नहीं. Problem ये है कि within 9 minutes I am able to write 150 words. This is a challenge. It is not about whether you know about Himalayas or not. Conceptually, you are very clear about Himalayas, but can you write 150 words in 9 minutes about the Himalayas in a sequence, in a logical way, concise, without any repetition? This is what is the answer writing. ये कब होगा? When everything is arranged and everything is retained as a thought process. अगर आपके mind में है और flow fast है, then only you will be able to complete the answer. It is not about you know one book about Himalayas. इससे कोई फायदा नहीं है. Whether you are able to write that 150 words in a given time, that will make a difference, right? For that, revision matters in every optional. In geography also, you have to keep on revising the things. Once you have understood the class is about understanding the topic. Remaining things is to retain and recollect the information. Retention and retrieving information, that is required in optional. ठीक है? Geomorphology, somebody is saying that geomorphology is boring. No, it's not boring. It depends on how you take it, right? If you are trying to collect the facts, obviously it will become boring. If you make it applied, it is interesting. It all depends on, that is what we are saying, it all depends on how you are approaching the subject. आपका approach अगर गलत है, your way of doing the things is wrong, then you will not get the outcome. और कुछ?
Ajay, you have some questions?
Just be free to ask question, because again we are repeating that we are here to help you whether you decide for geography or not. This session is not for bringing you in geography. Please understand, unlike any other institutes, we are not saying that you take geography optional, but it should be a wise decision. We don't want you to fall as a prey by selecting a wrong subject, whatever it may be.
No, they are going to take care of it. That won't be a problem. Change of batch won't be a problem here. Okay.
Medium of instruction, somebody is asking. It is English, obviously.
Karthik Gupta, that will be through the previous year's questions. Okay.
How to prepare this mapping wala
The mapping ke liye, again, you will have to practice. See, suppose I am doing a topic of physiography today. Let's say we are doing with Indian Himalayan region. So I will ask you to mark certain things in the class itself. When you go back home, you will take a physical map of India and you will plot all of those entries. Okay. Suppose I've asked you, do you mark these parts in Jammu and Kashmir, these parts in Uttarakhand? Okay. If you are doing in the class, then you go back home, you'll plot in a physical map of India. Okay. So these kind of things would be required and you will practice it constantly. This is the only way. So there are certain imaginary lines that you are going to draw. Okay. So those kind of things I don't encourage. ठीक है, हर एक की अपनी लाइन का स्ट्रक्चर है, कोई कैसे बना ले, बट जस्ट दैट रेफरेंस पॉइंट्स यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, ठीक है, बट प्रैक्टिस के अलावा नहीं है पॉसिबल कोई दूसरा तरीका.
One more question, Ashish Yaduvanshi is asking. Sometimes geography is tough, right? Tough. See, every optional, और ये भी एक mindset है. GS, as I told you in the beginning, optional preparation is not like GS. Whatever optional you take, you have to take efforts. It is not that easy. Whether you take PSIR, geography, history, any subject, right? Unless you are involved in that subject, you will not be able to prepare. This is not going to happen superficially. This is not going to happen organically. This is not going to happen just like that, right? तो अगर आप ये सोचते हैं कि क्लास अटेंड करेंगे और ऑप्शनल कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, क्लास विल ओनली बी 50% ऑफ द वर्क. रिमेनिंग इज after going back, how you take the things seriously and revise it. And our experience is many a time students, they will attend the classes and they don't do anything during the class, and then they close their optional and start preparing for prelims. After prelims, such students, when they open the optional, again it starts appearing very new. So if you are not practicing the subject during the classes, it will create trouble when you are writing the mains exam. That is why practice during the classes is very important. Revision during the class is more important. Thus, my advice for all those students who are preparing for 26, 27, whatever, early you complete your optional, whatever it may be. This will give you ample time for revision. More you revise, more better you become in any optional.
So as I told, that don't expand the study, okay? Keep the source of study very limited, but be very thorough with those. Okay? So if you can read, let's say 10 books in paper 2, okay, I can suggest you 20 books in paper 2 as well. You can go for those books as well. But would you be able to revise those books before the examination? No, not possible. So take up only that much in your plate which you can consume. So idea is, select the sources very carefully, be very thorough with those sources that you have chosen.
So somebody asking subject related doubt here, into the topic. Concept behind the formation of a mountain is interesting, but which mountain and ranges are tough? Now again, the issue is that if you are focusing primarily on the facts, you will be finding the topic difficult. You have to remember the facts through concept, right? Entire plate tectonics is there. Suppose you are understanding Himalayas, you understand how is the interaction of the Indian plate with the Eurasian plate, how was the closure of the TC, what was the level of deposition, how the trans Himalayas got uplifted, how the greater Himalayas got uplifted, what type of folding has been there, what is recumbent, what is nappe. अब ये जब सारा आप अप्लाई कर देंगे, then only thing is about understanding or retaining the information related to the names, right? But the students may not do like this. Take the atlas and start reading from north of Jammu and Kashmir. It is trans Himalayan ranges: Karakoram, Ladakh, Jaskar, Kailas, Greater, Pir Panjal, Dhauladhar. If you are doing like this, you will not be able to retain the information. You will find it tough. If you focus more on facts first without understanding the background concept, the subject becomes difficult, right? Factual things to be remembered with the concept. Please keep this in mind.
And see, it would be definitely more of hard work would be required from you guys, because you will have general studies classes along with the optional classes. Plus, somewhere around the months of November, December, we'll also start with the test series. The general studies students, they get the test series as well. Okay? And at that time, you will have to juggle with all of this. But if you don't read the option today, then you cannot prepare in the 90 days after the prelims exam. That is completely impossible. Okay? So you will have to put in the effort that is required here.
And remaining things, whatever you are having related to the classes at all, just leave it to us. This is what I can say, that we will see that you are good enough after 5 months to and well prepared to go for exam, right? So you need not be very confused about what will happen in the class. ठीक है? Remaining things, any doubt you are having? Yes, you can. Yes, और कुछ?
That's it. Then और खराब हो जाएगा.
GS1 और GS3 की क्लास इसका करता है.
GS1 and GS3. Obviously, that can be done. लेकिन
की जो नॉलेज है, जो टर्मिनोलॉजी है, वो ज्योग्राफी वाले पार्ट में आंसर राइटिंग देते हैं.
Not advisable. ऐसा कोई कहने से, but not advisable. General studies has to be approached like a general studies paper. It's basically general knowledge, the knowledge that you get by being more aware about your environment, about being more aware about your surroundings, take about reading newspapers. So it is advisable that you focus on general studies like a general studies paper. Okay.
So someone is asking, when it is written 150 words in the question and we draw the diagram and map, we still have to write 150 words or less. अभी इसमें आपको ease इस बात की है that you don't have unlimited space in the answers. How is the UPSC question answer booklet है, so well defined space is there. If you are using some of this space for diagram, obviously the space for number of words will get reduced, तो वो manage हो जाएगा. So if you are drawing diagram, you can write instead of 150, you can write 125 words. That's not a problem. Only thing is answer should be self-explanatory. Diagram जो आप draw कर रहे हैं वो clear होना चाहिए. Diagram should be it should give a clear idea about what is there in your write-up. Somebody is asking, can you teach any topic from paper 1? You can just Google YouTube channel. Some topics I have already taught. You can look at that. Vajiram and Ravi channel. There are some topics already explained. You can just go through that. Fine. So I hope that we have answered most of the questions, and hope that you will be taking a wise decision about the selection of the optional. If you are with geography and you are with us, don't worry, we will be taking care of the subject, right? Okay. Right then. Thank you. All the best.